Welcome to the Mega Print on Demand Summit. I am Melissa Reynolds, one of your hosts. So are you ready to learn some more about print on demand? I sure am, so let's get started.
Thank you, Melissa and Stephen. This is John Hogan. I'm going to be talking about video marketing today for print on demand. I look forward to giving you as much information as possible from the experiences that I've had, and also being able to give you a couple of nuggets and things to think about so that you can come back and ask questions afterwards. So why don't we get started? I'm John Hogan. I have been in the business of doing video marketing now for a few years, as well as being a digital marketer for longer than that. I have been doing some POD. I've had experience with owning a t-shirt company, apparel company, as well as doing some different things within the arena here. So, I've got experience in this area, as well as obviously what I'll be talking about today. So how many of you are doing video for social, hobby, or your business? I think that this is very interesting from the standpoint of most of us are probably doing some amount of video, whether that is, just like I'm doing on a laptop. I'm recording my the session here, and or filming the session, and but I also do this on Facebook, on YouTube. I use something called a phone to do that. I think most of you have done something to that point. Some of you are doing videos for your hobbies and or businesses. I think that becomes interesting in a sense of, well, why are you doing this? How can you do it better? And how can you make this as part of your strategy for doing, or for your print on demand? So today I'll be getting into what is video marketing, how to do it, what are the platforms, and then how does it translate to print on demand? I mean, basically, how do you become successful in using this marketing strategy for doing this for your business? So video marketing is using videos to promote and market your product or service, increase engagement on your digital and social channels, educate your consumers and customers, and reach your audience. So there are 4 areas that I have bolded or highlighted: promote and market, engagement, educate, and reach your audience. The first one, promote and market. I think obviously for what we're talking about marketing, but the in essence, you are looking at promoting your brand or your products in a way that people become interested in. So then that leads into your engagement. It's the fact that you have an audience, or you have a small audience or a large audience who have become interested in what you're doing. And so how do you engage with them? How do you give them, content or something that might trigger them to become more interested in your brand or your products enough to convert them to buy? The third one is educate. How do you educate your consumers and customers to a point of either understanding your products or your brand, or even how to buy, or what's new? And so the educate part is very interesting and can be one of those areas that I think all of us have come to know is to serve. And when you educate you're serving your customer and giving them as the information that they are interested in. And then finally, reach your audience. And so, with promoting and marketing, you're engaging them, you're educating them. The fact is that, as I said before, do you have an audience? And that's where either having an existing audience or growing an audience based off of what you are doing. So those are the key parts of video marketing from a high level. And so let's get into the 5 areas for video marketing that tend to be no-brainers. One is the idea of video is a gold mine for SEO. If you haven't already realized this, YouTube is the largest search engine on the internet. It passed Google, which Google owns YouTube, and it passed Google earlier this year or the end of last year. And so, the idea that for YouTube, what do we always do in Google? We use keywords. We're trying to get optimized. Well, same thing can be done for your videos. They can be found on searches for both YouTube and for Google, and that you are using some of the same strategies that can be found other places and optimizing your videos. One of the things that you can also see on YouTube is the fact that they talk about click-through rates, open rates, conversions. At some point with our customer or with our clients and what we do ourselves, we look at those as being views as well as click-throughs based off of what we might have in the description or what our CTA our call to actions are. Second is video boosts conversion rates. So basically the idea is that when a consumer is watching a video, that boosts their conversion rate to more than 50%. Some people have even said it's over 60% when they watch the video of a demonstration or information about a product. They are 50 to 60% more apt to buy. That's an incredible number, and so now the key is how do you get people to go watch those videos of your products. The third one is video is easily accessible, much in the way that the internet is easily accessible. So is video, and as you'll see later on as we go through some trends and some marketing statistics, that video tends to create that the users out there love video. They love the idea of watching it and using it as a way for communication to come to them. If you think about the idea of traditional marketing, let's say like a flyer can only go out to so many people because physically that's as far as you can get it. There is also a greater cost to that audience than if you were to put a video out and let the globalness of the internet and the pervasiveness of the internet in people's homes, and then also the fact that it is on every smartphone that's out there. So video is effective. Let's talk in terms of the fact that video for both the video side as well as the audio side are 80% more effective in their retention rates. So the fact is that when you tell someone some information, they will retain it 80% more than the other ways, which are the fact that if I look at information or if I see it, I'm only 20% likely to retain that. And if I hear it, I'm 10% likely to retain that information. And then finally, that video is emotional. So it allows that video will go to another level. It's a fact that you are more emotionally attached to someone when you see them, as we have gone through the pandemic and seeing that people are at home and they have not had the time to be in person. So much in that same way, where there's an emotional side, if there's written words or if it's audio or something to that effect, people tend to not make an emotional connection. Right now, as I'm talking to you, you see me. You can see that I'm speaking these words, and at some point you start to gain an understanding of maybe who I am, and that maybe you like me, maybe you don't, maybe you enjoy my presentation style, maybe but at some point it is one way communication. I'm communicating out, but you are able to you're able to add an extra emotional side to what you're seeing on the screen. And so that, in essence, is part of the human connection. It's obviously one down from being in person and having that touch. And as I said, with the pandemic and everything that with the stay at home, it has shown that the human connection is very strong, and that people tend to like having that connected. And that goes so far as to say as why Zoom has become a popular way to connect, not only just for business, but for people who just want to get together. And so again, the emotional side is key in that. Okay, so let's talk about video trends. So I'll go through a couple of these. I know it's a lot of different ones, but I think that they're important to know. Here, let's do this. Okay, so the first one is 81% of businesses use video as marketing tools. The question is, are you? I think that all of these businesses are figuring out that this has become the way to communicate with people. And as we go through some of these, you'll start to see that the numbers do ring true in that. So that 6 out of 10 people would rather watch online videos than television. Remember that fact. I'm going to bring up something, another fact about that later on, but 6 out of 10 people, so 60% of the people, have cut the cord, most likely, and are streaming, are doing things that are on demand. Television has always been about live events. They would dictate when you could watch, and now that's no longer the case. Everyone has become their own decider on what type of content and when. So the mobile video has risen by 100% every year, and I think that number continues to grow even higher and higher. The fact is that we are a mobile device society, and that for ease of use and the fact that we do look at our phones a lot, that becomes one of the key attributes of that. The more that I read on how to be successful and conquering your day is put down your phone or your device. I think everyone knows that. So by 2022, which is in a short time, the fact is that the consumer internet traffic will be made up of 82% of online videos. So the fact is that our traffic will be mostly video. 4/5 of our traffic will be videos that are being watched by consumers. That is huge. I mean, the idea is that that was 15 times higher than 2017. And, I think that just continues to grow and is amazing. The idea that 78% of people watch videos every week, 55% of them watch them every day. So half of America watches videos every day. That is, again, an amazing statistic. The the next three are ones that I think as I've highlighted are just they're mind blowing. The fact that a Facebook executive predicted that their platform would be all video and no text within 2 years. I don't know how close they're getting to that, but you're starting to see the idea of video, of text to speech, of Alexa, of so many different ways to communicate that it's taking the reading out, and it's more of telling you and informing you with video, with audio, with text to speech, and just a number of different ways. YouTube, as we said before, is the most popular the most popular search engine in front of Google, and that's something that just happened in the last 6 to 9 months. But that speaks to how many video, or what video traffic is going on, and the fact that we as a society have really grown fond of watching videos. Users view more than 1 billion hours of video each day on YouTube. There's another stat that will come up that says that there's 5 billion views of a day on YouTube. And again, that's just an amazing stat. The next one is that 59% of executives say they would rather watch a video than read text. As we talk to our clients, and as we use that as a way to say, people, especially at a younger generation, would rather watch a video for them to tell you than for them to actually read what is on the screen. And especially with mobile devices, that's hard to read anyways. But they're inherently being trained to just watch videos, and it'll tell them everything. 75% of all video plays are on mobile devices. Again, something we have seen within our own statistics, within the statistics that are out there. The fact is that the mobile device market is just huge on Facebook, on YouTube, on all the other social media platforms. And the fact is that when they watch a message on video, 95, almost 100% retain that versus 10% reading it in text. So they were saying that close to 1 million minutes of video crossing the internet per second, probably sometime this year or next year. And so, if you think about that, 1 million minutes of video, incredible. Okay, video marketing stats, statistics. There's, 300% more traffic for videos. The fact that is, it's if you have a video on your website, it's 53 times more likely to be on the front page of Google. and that 50% of internet users look for videos related to a product or service before visiting a store. That becomes a key. If you start thinking in those terms, that even for local businesses, they've figured out that they can't just market locally the way that they used to. It's the fact that I have to be online, I have to be marketing online, because if I'm not, then I'm going to lose customers, because that's where they first go to. What else? The 25% of companies publish videos every week, and that here's another interesting one, that 65% of executives have gone to the marketer's site, and 39 have called them after watching a video, a marketing video. So there's instant action being taken. Finally, 64% of customers will make a purchase after watching branded videos on a social platform. Imagine that, 64%. So if you can get people there and watching your videos, then there is that natural conversion rate of extremely high. And that's where you want to be, because video is where it's at right now. And the other one, it wasn't it was 5 billion views on YouTube every day. 5 billion views, and that number has got to be higher, especially with the pandemic, especially the fact that we sat at home and we binge watch, and we kept watching video. And not only was it because that was one of the things to do, it was also a comfort. And so there's a level of people who want to hear what other people, what other businesses are doing, not only for purchasing, which we saw the retail side of buying online go up dramatically in the last 3 months, but also the fact is that there's a level of content that they want to watch, listen, and follow. And so when you have a story, when you are able to share, that you will start to grow your audience and grow your engagement. Okay, so here's a couple of best practices. One is that videos under 2 minutes long get the most engagement. It's so true. It's a fact that what we're talking about are video marketing. If you have something that is talking more of education, of maybe a story, or some funny skits, those can be longer. The more that you engage with people, the more that they will stay on and watch, especially at the beginning. Those are areas that have become key and understanding. So and then 85% of Facebook videos are watched without sound, while 60% of Instagram stories are watched with the sound on. So again, start to come to understand what the user is doing. So for Facebook, with clients of ours, we have started putting an emphasis on the first 5, 3, 1 second, to make sure that on Facebook, when you start scrolling through your list, that you are able to get their attention and not only start viewing, but then the other part of it is to turn the sound on and listen. The other part of this is for Instagram. Again, everyone's going to these stories that they're listening with the sound on. Instagram is a younger, different audience, and they are more in tune with video and watching. So there's more things more statistics on each of the platforms that, if you're interested, let me know. I can provide those. But they all talk about a strategy that you need to employ. Then there is 33% of viewers will stop watching a video after 30 seconds, 45% by 1 minute, and 60% by 2 minutes. The idea that you really need to grab their attention right at the beginning, and then have good content that's going to keep them on. So 93% of marketers use video, and then that 73% of B2B marketers say video positively impacts their ROI. And to me, it's the fact that that number, if you're truthful, is much higher. It's the fact that video is so engaging and has become a go-to, and it's just thinking in terms of the right strategy and the right way to use it. Okay, so marketing videos can take many forms, such as explainers, presentations, video blogs, vlogs, tutorials, webinars, ads, customer testimonials, interviews, live streams, product videos, live videos. So let me pick out a few of these. So, the explainers presentations can be demos, can be, more longer form that people want to kind of fully immerse and either be educated or have a better understanding of what you're trying to present. Customer testimonials have always been key and continue to provide a good way to drive traffic. There's also the idea of live and streams and live video, both especially with YouTube and Facebook and even some of the other platforms. Those have become big. It's the idea of having a live session continues to drive more viewers, more viewership. So those are other ways. And then also the product videos. I mean, that's in essence what we're talking about. One of we have a number of different channels on YouTube that drive product videos, and the more product videos we have, it's a fact that because we've keyworded them, because we've been able to turn them into marketing videos, we get high engagement, we get high high viewership based off of what we're trying to do with those. So think in terms of different ways that you can use video to engage. So here's a couple of other thoughts. One is that with video, you are 50% more likely to appear first page of search results, which is huge. The value of a 1 minute video is worth 1.8 million words. Very true, very true. That you can definitely get your point across. And for what I do, a lot of times I will use a reader to read a web page for me, because I don't really have the time to read it, but I do have time to listen to it as I'm doing some other things. So I've become more aware of the fact that the content and text are not as important. People spend 2.6 more on a page with video, 2.6 more time. So think in terms of those. And then this was the stat that's astounding, that YouTube reaches more 18 to 49-year-olds than any broadcast or cable TV. YouTube does all of this with just mobile traffic. That it doesn't even include desktop. So every time that you start thinking in terms of, so video on the internet, video marketing, is it really going to work? It's inherently it works, and so You just need to figure out the best way of using the tools that are out there to do it. Okay, how to do it. So let's talk first about video creation. So this thing, basically your phone is probably the best way to create videos. Another way is the fact that as what I'm doing, I've got my webcam on my laptop. Great way to just get going and start. You can also use a standalone camera. The idea of going through YouTube and Facebook, very appealing because they keep the content or they keep the video for you. And now you're actually able to download it and reuse it if that's the case. If not, you can always record it on your phone or on the camera or your laptop, and then you can take it to a video editor. So the video editors become very important to manipulate the videos. There's on most PCs, there's Movie Maker, which is pretty standard. There on Macs, it's iMovie. Great tools to have. You can edit, you can manipulate, you can add images, you can make breaks, you can cut things out that may not make sense, you can add music, you can have an intro and an outro telling them who you are, as well as telling them what you want them to do even at the end, maybe in a slide or an image. And so there's some higher end video editors, Filmora. There's Adobe that has a nice film editor also. The other thing is to do image creation software, and there's some software. I don't know how many of you are doing this. I'm assuming that most of you are, because you are having to create your images. A couple that I put on here, I use Get Stencil extensively, but there's also Canva, and there's others that are really nice. And then there's some higher end software for video creation, as well as video creation distribution. One of those that I use is something called Yive. I'll have the link in there later, but that is such a key element to what can be done at a higher end, a higher level of creating content, of creating videos. So it's something that if you're interested, there'll be a link, but you can also contact me on. Okay, so then the platforms. Obviously, we've been talking extensively about YouTube. There's also all the social media platforms. I mean, you've got Facebook, you've got Instagram, you've got Twitter, you've got what else? Pinterest, you've got TikTok. I mean, TikTok is just blown up, and all of those have both an audience that you can grow into your niche. It's global, so there can be lots of different ideas and different audience members and tribe that can come around from the world and provide different insights. Other ones are streaming sites, gaming sites, your website, having just a microsite. Microsite could be just the video and making it as a landing page, making it as a sales funnel. Then there's also Google Local, Google My Business, and everywhere. And then the idea of live. There's Facebook, there's YouTube, even Amazon. They have live components, and depending on what you're trying to achieve, you can get people's attention, because by going live, you will have a notification sent out. Lots of interesting content that people want to see, but may not know about it, or may not follow the notifications. the live notification. When I get one, I like to see who it is and if there's something of interest, because then I get to engage with them, which becomes more interesting. Okay, how print on demand can be successful with video marketing. The idea of you niche and show your show your product, both for your niche and your products. The fact that this becomes a no-brainer. It's a little bit of testing and seeing what works, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But the idea of starting with something and then being able to understand the analytics around that and moving forward are key. The other thing is reviews and more information. You can have lots of reviews, provide more information in videos, then testimonials, and then there's this third-party video creation. The idea that you can ask, and people do this out on Facebook and other places, that they would give either information or reviews from a third party, from someone in your audience. Those actually become more appealing, more useful, because they're just not hearing from you, that they see that other people are engaged, like what you're doing, want to participate. So there is other software out there that I also use, where basically someone can go to a web page, they click on the button, record whatever they want, click on it to end it, and it will go to Amazon Web Services, so the server. And so you can then have private videos that some people don't like to put their videos out in the public sphere. This way it's easy to do that. You can add it to your website, you can add it to other places, and now you have lots more content to be able to share. There's also translations in foreign languages for consideration. The idea that are for the US or for English, you have, a lot of the keywords are saturated. But when you get out into the other languages, you have lots of opportunities, because people are not paying attention to those areas, especially in niches. One thing to consider is that the fact that YouTube, if you were to talk about YouTube has only 25% of their viewership is watching it who is English. So you have 75% that are non-English that are watching YouTube videos. Think of the amount of traffic, of the amount of ways to reach out to those people when you are speaking in their language. One of the things that for YouTube that becomes key is the fact that title and description, and even the closed caption, that you have your keywords in there, but those can also be used on the translations of foreign languages. The fact that if you translate all those, then you start to get a foothold into those different languages. The other part of it for YouTube is your thumbnail. If someone is interested in your video, if you have an interesting thumbnail, the amount of traffic or the amount of viewership tends to go up when you have a call to action or something that's more appealing than just a still of your video somewhere in between. So think in terms of those. So then, as I've been talking about, some of the tools to use, there's thumbnail creation software. There's also translation software that can be used, as simple as going to either YouTube or even Bing. Bing has a good translator. There's some high level translation services out there also that can do the translations for you. There is the third-party video creation. I talked a little bit about it. It becomes easier for someone to do it privately, and then for you to even evaluate and edit their videos to fit what you're trying to market to. There is the volume video creation that I was talking about. It's a platform that is extraordinary. If you are looking to drive hundreds, if not thousands, of videos a day out to YouTube and soon to be some other platforms, the software is kind of an advanced level, a high level, but is extraordinary. And then there's also for your content, if you are not already using a text spinner, this one is one that I like, but the idea is that you don't have duplicate content out there. Everywhere you go, you can even do this with your content itself on different platforms, is you have different ways for that content to be seen and shared and read, different keywords, different ways, so that it doesn't look like it's duplicated, because it's not. And so if you take a look at that's a good text content spinner. This one I wanted to show, which is talking to the extent of the translations. This is a client of mine, and back at the beginning of the year, we were doing some testing to see if we translated videos in a certain way, what would our traffic do? Well, as you can see, our traffic blew up. We went up by 2, 3, sometimes 5, 6 times of our daily traffic, because we started translating our titles, our descriptions, and even our closed captions. And not only were people excited to see that they could see those titles and descriptions in their own language, but we got onto a number of different search keywords that were highly valuable in driving traffic for us. So again, this is an example of one way to do it. This is a client who's a content creator who posts videos 2 to 3 times a week, and is more about content creation than selling a product. But it rings true with what we are talking about here. So finally, let's talk about easy steps to begin. And these are ideas that I work with my clients on, is, know your niche and your audience. And at some point, when you know your niche and your audience, the idea of being able to identify your keywords becomes that much easier. And once you have your keywords, you can then start to create content and create videos that are meaningful and that can gain traction and engagement, as well as traffic. So, once you know your niche and your audience and your keywords, you can identify if you want to use a YouTube channel, if you want to be on Facebook, that you're going to add videos to. And then our suggestion is always creating 5 videos about your POD brand or products, and then you would edit those videos based on what you like. I mean, you can create a video and add an intro and an outro and do nothing with the video, or you can cut it, or you can add B-rolls. You can add different things throughout the videos that might be interesting. But it kind of comes down to being able to play around with it so that you can see what this is like, and what your personal preference is. And so Once you do that, you post them to the platform, either YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, others, and you would then analyze the traffic and see what type of engagement. And then once you've done that, you would start at step 3. And with those ideas, changes, or new ideas, that you would go ahead and create 5 more videos. And so this is a continual process. If this takes you a monthly, if it's weekly, if it's some people it could be every couple of days. And because the idea is that there is a continual amount of videos, and that you are being consistent, and not only for creating the videos and the timing, but it's also for your audience that they'll come to expect your videos and will keep coming back if they like what they see. And so by doing that, you can start to expand your video inventory and your video marketing, and get a better understanding of what works and what doesn't, and obviously throw away what doesn't work and keep doing what works. So that is, in a nutshell, how I would suggest you begin if you haven't. If you have, and I would take the steps of, or some of the nuggets that I threw out to improve your videos or improve your strategy. And I think that becomes a key element to what we're trying to do, all of us, as in creating videos and marketing videos that help your revenue, and help you gain engagement and gain traffic. So if you have any questions or follow-ups, let me know. I'm a video digital marketer. I do technology, automation. I do some other things, but as I said at the beginning, I'm part of this industry and continue to follow the trends that are out there. Hopefully this was a good amount of information, either some things that you didn't know about, or helps you with this area if you're a beginner. And I look forward to hearing from everyone, and if there's any help that I can provide, please let me know.
Wow, that was some great information. I hope you took lots of notes. The recording of this session will be up until midnight, but if you want to see the recordings after that, you can get our All Access Pass, which includes the recordings from all of the sessions, by clicking the link below. Don't forget to share this link with anybody that's interested in starting their own print-on-demand business.